Greetings and grace be unto all of you with love, joy, peace, prosperity, and longevity from God our Father and from our Lord Jesus Christ. And welcome, God morning to you all. I come out here today to Greenville, North Carolina. I'm doing some grieving right now, and I'm a little angry too, but I got the joy of the Lord. And I decided, I had planned a trip with Tamika. They always say I never took anywhere. And, we were busy healing and growing in grace and the knowledge of Jesus Christ. But they always say it didn't go nowhere. So she says she likes surprises. I did set up a surprise. A surprise to go to Cherokee, North Carolina. Yeah, I wanted to visit my heritage and things of that nature. But family again, her family stepped right in. One on one, her to babysit. Well, that's not a family. That's so-called sister-in-law. All the way to Delaware. My wife has a master's degree, but that's how they take advantage of her because she don't like to say no. But she say no to her husband. She even go against her husband sometimes and fight against me for them. I don't understand it, but I'm out here and I'm going to celebrate my grieving with my mother, Bertha May. I always honored Ella Ruth, scholarship. Well, Shafi had messed that scholarship thing up. Uh, Ask her about it. She'll tell you. Nevertheless, keep lights on in her name all year long, all 24/7. For 7 years, honoring Ella Ruth Stevens. Ask my wife, me on this situation with my mother. Nope, selfish. But listen, I'm going on in here, and I'm going to thank God on the way. I'm out here to get me something to eat. Oh, yeah, she left me plenty of food to eat, but I don't want that. Come out here and dine with my mother. Yeah, my deceased mother. Yeah, she's been deceased for a while. I'm out here at the RJ's famous chicken barbecue and ribs. And I just wanted to come out and spend some time with my mother. Yeah, use your imagination if you have to. Well, when I get lonely and feel some kind of way, I kind of go inside myself and yeah, just like when you was a child, anybody was a child and they created, you ever created, like what you say, have your imagination and you create your own kind of people. Well, uh, right now I'm using my imagination. I'm with my mother. I'll be back with you in a short. Hey, good afternoon. Is it afternoon yet? Hey, well, I'm over here at the famous, we, I tell you, my mom with me in my mind. Very good. Some, what's that, barbecue chicken, some string beans, mashed potatoes, the peelings, and some cornbread. And that's pretty tasty. And the price, my God, so reasonable. I think I paid, what, about $13 for this platter? Yeah, $13. And my mom can't eat none of this food. I wanted to take the time out to grieve in this manner. And I tell you, it's like when you was a kid and had your imagination, you had to play by yourself and you use your imagination. I'm using my imagination. I'm going to tell my mom some things that I've learned since I accused her of so many things that was wrong. That's because she didn't tell me the truth. And I realized that if my mother did not tell me the truth, my mother didn't tell me the truth. So what do I expect out of women or people who are family, or in-laws. My mom, I gave her a whole lot of trouble. I was young and confused and had a lot of energy. I was always getting kicked out of school, a lot of trouble. But in 1970, song by Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? I was about 14 years old, and that's when I had my questions. What was going on? Yeah, like many of us, I didn't know who my daddy was. They lied to me all my life, well, most of my life. I didn't go for it at 14. I stopped believing what they were telling me about some other guy being my father. Well, I remember the time I got together, my brother Johnny, before he died, got murdered by my dad. My cousin, me, Mary, Peanut, and Dee Dee, Elmer, we got them all together and say, we need to stand up against all the lies and skeletons in the closet and things of that nature in the family. And I recall, in front of all of them, I got on my knees before my mother. She was crocheting, and I asked her plainly, who was my dad? And she balled her face up and she stood stern to what she said. I already told you. But I knew it was a lie. I just couldn't understand why my mother would lie to me. So, in my mind, she's across here at the table. You can't see her. See? And just wanted to tell her some things about how, yeah, I didn't mean to be so rough, tough. I wasn't tough. It was just mischievous. I had a lot of energy. I remember one day, yeah, about 14, and my mother called all of us into her bedroom. It was like five of her sons and two extra guys, two extra brothers. They weren't our real brother. Yeah, I deal with reality. And she told us if we ever go to prison, she would not be there for us. No, she knew what was going on. This dope dealer was dealing heroin, and he wanted me to sit in the front seat while he traveled back and forth to New York to pick up drugs. Well, his wife told my mom what was going on, so thank God I didn't do that. I don't know what I get caught up into. You know, his sons became famous boxers, the Shula brothers. Uh, they did now. Nevertheless, you know, Mom, she even told me one day, I was upstairs and I was playing some gospel music. Yeah, I've been in gospel a long time. I wasn't saved. She came to the bottom of the steps. I was on the third floor. She says, Furman, Furman, it's not time yet. Like normal, when my mom said something I thought was out of wrong, I just ignored it and kept on jamming to my gospels. But then one day she called me into her room. Ain't that right, Bert? And she said she was crying. You remember you was crying, Mom? And she said, remember you said, I didn't know. She never told me what, but at that time she had found out at my, well, biological son, I think, he was considered somewhat of a genius. And she said she just didn't know about me. I was born with polio, all kind of issues, and crippled at birth. But the strange thing about it is, Mom, I wanted to know why you had to go to court to get legal right for me. And she still haven't answered that. Now she'll tell me in the spirit, I'll get to understand it better by and by. Because all that time I thought my mother was lying to me, didn't want to tell me the truth, maybe shame of some of her past. And the thing about it, nobody in the family would talk about it. Ain't that right, Bertha May? Nobody else would talk about it in the family. It was a hush hush situation. And I'm going to tell you why.
We'll be right back with the Good News Reporter.
This is Dr. Perman. I'm asking that you would subscribe and get this message. We want to talk about how we are a chosen generation of a royal priesthood and holy nation. Yes, a peculiar people. Not only should we say it loud, we must begin to live it loud. So come back and join me and be encouraged in the Word of God.
My real daddy name is Johnny Brown. And one day when I was trying to get some free food when I was on parole, and I had to show ID. So I had to get my birth certificate to get some food from the Catholics. When I got my birth certificate, reality was real. Johnny Brown was my daddy, and not this guy named Elmer Garrison. That's my half brother's daddy. And he did the best he could. I still was trying to figure out why my mom would not let me embrace my dad. So back then I got even a little more wilder, more drugs, more alcohol. I was going through a whole lot of stuff, in the military. Um, and I was still trying to ask my mom. I got my answer. I'm gonna tell you how I got it. Before I go there, I'm gonna tell you how I got my answer. I want to tell you that my mom, she was protecting me all that time with a lie, a lifelong lie. Because whatever happened back then, my grandfather didn't deal with it. My Uncle Thomas didn't deal with it. Nobody. When I went to one of my cousins, Louise, that was my major babysitter, she didn't want to tell me nothing either. Yeah, right, Bert. So I went on through life not knowing who my daddy was. I didn't believe my mom. But like I said, she had a purpose for her lie. Like Joseph lied when he said that Sarah wasn't his wife, so his life would be spared by those who was in the desert. Like, Peter. Peter told some stories. Oh, string beans are good. I had no string beans in a long time. Um, so I kept on digging for the truth.
We'll be right back with the Good News Reporter.
So I kept going. I kept on digging for the truth. I had my pickaxe and my shovel, and I was digging through all that sugar, honey, iced tea. Wink, wink. And there was a whole lot of stuff. Well, my daddy was a dog. That's not surprising, is it? He was a real dog. I think he shot out the church house. He took out the church house while she was singing on the choir. He was half Jew and half black. So he had some dollars. Driving a fancy car for a black back then. Lord have mercy. Yeah, but he had some dollars. Um, when my mom got pregnant by my daddy, then my aunt Lucille got pregnant by my daddy. So that family feud goes way, way back when my mother was a teenager. I would say something around maybe, I don't know, 40 something, 1940 something. It took my mom off the choir. My mom made fun of my Aunt Lucille one day and called her black and fat, and nobody wanted her. Well, my dad, my daddy did. My daddy wanted her. No, my daddy was a dog. Bang anything, not nailed down. That was just his way of life. Um, so let's continue. I had to go. I left my food on the table. North Carolina, you don't have to have a, well, in this part of North Carolina, you don't have to have a swivel head. You don't have to keep looking around and all kind. And as paranoid as I am, Lord, I was able to leave my food and go to the bathroom. The people are different in the South down here in North Carolina. But nevertheless, my mom, like Bert, she was protecting me. But my daddy, I'm not certain. My daddy was a real freak. He's like, no, let me make it plain. My mother was protecting my booty. My daddy had sex with my Aunt Lucille, of course, my mother. Um, he had sex with my oldest sister. Yeah, gave her a baby. He molested her like from 2 years old. So she had a baby. I don't know what happened after that. That was one of the things I fought for that baby to come home. Well, she's my, what do you call it? My niece, cousin. I don't know how you say that stuff. Got two kinds of relationships, I'll tell you that. So my daddy, I don't think my mama was protecting my booty. He always liked to fight. I mean, legal. He had Jews in his corner, Jewish people. Yeah, half Jew. When they took my daddy to court, back then the law was you take care of things in your own home. A man ran his own home. Well, of course, that was a lot of abuse, but things changed. But my daddy never paid for that according to the court system. We got away with it. My sister was pregnant. I have a niece, my niece, but she should be like maybe 6 years my junior or something. She's about 54. Her name Marilyn, also like my older sister Marilyn. Older sister taught me some things about the tricks of women. No matter what I do, there's a scheduled argument or debate or some kind of situation. You know, I told my mom I wanted to go to Cherokee, North Carolina, because my grandfather told me to go there. He believes I have an inheritance. I have the key, I have the information, but I gotta get there. Will it work? I don't know. But I want to go anyway so I can learn and know more about my heritage. Shepherd is part black, part Jewish, part Irish, part African. Nah, I'm a human being today. I'm of none of those races. They can race all they want. I'm a human of the human race. Took me a little time to get here. I used to be a brute beast, just like a lot of people I know. You need delivered. I didn't get to take the trip. Like I said, my wife likes surprises. But when her family steps in, I'm the one that gets surprised. I'm here by myself. Again, lonely, feel abandoned. But I just want to come out here, take a ride out in the country, Greenville. It's like a city, I guess. And mom don't understand much about it. Can't even say, but we can hear each other thinking. I know this kind of strange. Yeah, I guess I'm a strange individual. So I want to share that. So that's the one thing I had on my mom all those years, that she lied to me and told me that somebody else was my daddy when I knew better than that. About 3 months ago, while thinking about my mom, doing my own personal grieving, and I'm thankful that she lied to me. That was a lie worth telling. She didn't want me to build a relationship with my daddy because he was a booty bandit. He was a freak. He'd knock off anything that's happening. Well, I don't even know if he's alive today. And here I am today. I'm not honored as a dad. I raised men in prison. I had a bunch of uh, old heads, young bucks, whatever you call them, in prison. I helped to raise up some men, and I thank God He allowed me to do that. And out here, just one. I ain't seen a long time. Her husband didn't like me too much. I guess I was getting too much attention. But my daughter and I, we agreed. I stepped to the side and let them raise those babies, my two grandsons. And one day maybe he'll stop being angry with me. Who knows? But I tell you, the food here is good. I plan on, if possible, Tammy could say she wanted to come out here one day. So I plan on coming back out here. Maybe get some ribs. They even sell chitlins. This is a real soul food place. But it's barbecue ribs and chicken. Uh, Very pleasant, nice and cool. It's nice there. I believe Tamika would really like it. And one time they told us going to a black restaurant. It wasn't black. But this one here, like the whole staff, everybody, is really nice in here. So I just wanted to come all the way out here to get away from the computers. Like Jerry Butler said, I'm just thinking about cooling out. And I'm going to get away from all the thinking. Thank God my attorney was able to get my $4,000 back for the trip. That once again, Tamika's family, they always demand her. Well, after she started getting up and being up, going about, after she felt good about herself, and well, we'll see how it ends. Because I know one thing: she tells me she puts me first as a husband, like it's supposed to be, but I can't tell. But me and my mom gonna get in the car, gonna ride back over here to Dorchester, and I'm sure we'll have a nice conversation in the car. It can't really tune you in like that because there wouldn't be any picture. I can't do this thing in the car like that. But I'm sure we'll have a nice conversation. I thank you, Mom, for allowing me to get some of this stuff out about my daddy. So in all actuality, by the grace of God, I tell you like my grandfather told me. One day when I was running around and I was about 21, 22, I broke the code on where my niece, or my sister, whatever, my sister's daughter, my older sister's daughter, my daddy's daughter, my daddy, my daughter, my sister's daughter, my daddy and my sister's daughter. Well, I fought to get her back home. I fought for family reunion. They wound up having it. I was in prison. And my niece, my daddy's daughter, my sister's daughter, got her to come home. But during that time, and I was running around selling drugs like a cold-blooded nut because I was confused about life. I was confused about a lot of different things. But when it came down to my daddy and I ran around, I went to my aunts, my cousins, big older cousins, and my mom, and different people, and asked them about my daddy. Nobody had an answer. But I got to say this. All that crying I was doing. So I went to my grandfather, and I was crying, boo hoo hoo, my daddy, my daddy, my daddy. And my grandfather told me, he never called me by my name. He always called me boy. He said, boy, forget those earthly fathers. Your father is up in heaven. Hallowed be his name. God bless you. I'm going to leave the restaurant. Hopefully, Tamika, hopefully she'll answer the phone. Uh, but she's with her family. See you next time. God bless you.
This is a Tam Firmables TV production.